Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. This is Dave White. I'm the VP of Textiles for Loom. With us this morning is Suzanne Tick, who is the Creative Director for Loom. And Suzanne had an amazing opportunity. Earlier this year, she went to India to study for 4 months about Vedic meditation, continue her education. And she's been sharing those experiences in a series of webinars. And this morning, she's going to talk about how to unstress the Vedic way. So Suzanne, take it away.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, wow, what a amazing, like, I don't know, stressful time we're living in right now. Some of you might be thinking, I want to go back to work right now. Some of you might be thinking, oh, I like what's happening. I want to stay here. What is happening is the sign of the time. This is meant to be happening. From a Vedic worldview, there's been too much destruction operating in the world, whether it's too much hostility, whether it's too much consumption, whether it's too much litter, whether it's too close of working environments, whether it's too much excess, too much imbalance, and nature's taken over, and that it's now in charge. Nature needs a break, as do we. We're being forced to stop and to look at ourselves and to make decisions from the inside. So who we are, how we treat each other, how we treat our children, all of this is very arresting and stressful. And for those who generate good energy will receive good energy. And for those who generate poor energy will receive poor energy. That's the way nature works. And, this is the type of thing that consciousness and meditation will bring you. It'll bring you that vision to understand that, I don't know, I recently stubbed my toe, like, really badly. I broke my second toe, actually. And I was thinking really dark thoughts. And I know that because the minute I did it, I was like, what am I thinking? And things happen when you think dark thoughts. And I was in a hurry and a rush, and it was like, oh my gosh, after 4 months of meditation, I come back and I stub my toe. And it's really kind of cultivating an energy that just unstresses you. So one of the things that I love about creating textiles and creating the products for Loom, and I'm just going to give you a little side on Loom, is that one of our core tenets is we use this age-old technology, and we come up with new ways of sharing weave structures and ideas. And when I first started the meditation practice, it's an age-old practice, just like weaving. This is about 5,000 years old, and Vedic meditation is. And now the call of the time is to figure out how we can address this and help each other unwind and unstress. And it's a really interesting kind of creative balance I'm trying to do between doing my own creative work for Loom and my other clients with Tarkett and Skyline Glass, but also my own inner work in meditation, and then being able to share it with you. So I'm really honored to be able to share it with you. One thing that keeps happening whenever I talk to people about meditation is they say they can't stop their mind from thinking. And this is a chronic discussion that everyone seems to have. And from the Vedic worldview, our mind is just like the ocean. And every day the ocean is different. So here we have 6 different days, 6 different types of ocean. I actually usually take a picture of the ocean when it's very calm. But and so when I was looking to kind of do this talk, I'm like, oh my God, where are the like really, really, frictiony ocean shots? That's how we have to think about our minds. Is some days you have a really calm meditation, and some days your meditation is filled with friction, and you can't stop yourself from thinking. And what I want to talk and kind of unpack for you all today is that thoughts are actually our friends in meditation. It's not something to try to resist. And a lot of people, again, there's a lot of types of meditation. There's contemplation meditation, where you contemplate on a visualization or a word or something, and you contemplate and you keep bringing that up, and that requires thought, and that requires you to make an effort. And with Vedic meditation, what's nice is that it's not effortless, or it is effortless. It doesn't require effort. It is an effortless, simple process of thinking the mantra very innocently and letting it go, and then trying to find this place which you would consider underneath that wave of action and friction that you see on the ocean, and getting deep down inside where you are. And that's the technique that this meditation gives you. So it's not a contemplation, you're not contemplating. And the other thing is, you're not concentrating. There's no concentration involved. And that's the other aspect that requires effort. So we don't want this meditation to be causing you to do something. It's a very simple, natural process. You sit easily in a chair, you have your back supported, you sit upright, it's eyes closed, you get a simple biju mantra. Again, mantra means mind, and MAN means mind, and tra means vehicle. So it's a mind vehicle, and it's this simple sound vibration of Sanskrit that then allows you to go deep into that inner core of who you are. So why don't we move to the next slide? And I've drawn this little diagram of what.
Holy smokes. Look at that thing. Wow.
So the nature of the mind, it can have 2 outcomes, okay? So if you look deeply, if you look closely at this drawing, the top of that, the little top, are the waves. And those waves are thoughts. And the interesting thing about thoughts, you guys, is when we wake up in the morning, our thoughts start happening. And we have anywhere between 60 and 80,000 thoughts a day. And many of them are repetitive. And these thoughts are really looking for what's the greatest thing that's going to happen next? What is the greater evolution for me? Like, what do I really want to eat? And then you're like, well, if I have that, maybe that won't be good for me. Okay, maybe I want this. What am I craving? What charm? Where is the charm in my thought? So that's the top of where we are all in our head. It's the top of the ocean. You see that. And then as you go down into the water, the very lower line, where at the very bottom where it says being, that's the floor of the ocean. So what you're doing when you have a meditation, a practice, a mantra, you are bringing that's an inward stroke for you to go into that inward stroke and be somewhere in between there. And once you find, and you really are trying to find that place between thought, no thought, which is that dotted line. This is where thoughts start disappearing, and that's where things change. And then a empty spot between that and the ocean floor. When you hit the ocean floor, that's where being is. And that being is a place of bliss. And once you can reach that area, that bliss chemistry starts bubbling up for you. And you wake up in the morning feeling fantastic. So this is a diagram of how this meditation works. So you have your mantra at the top, you start going deeper, you're thinking mantra, 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 mantra. And then you start letting go of the mantra, and then it's that space between your mantra and no thought is where you want to be. And that's the connection. What happens on the outward stroke is thoughts start happening. So the minute you have thoughts, and you may be before that dashed line, you may start thinking, I can't do this. This is ridiculous. And that is an outward stroke. So that is your first example of unstressing. You have this thought, it's a destructive thought. It's about, I can't do this. The minute you notice that you had that thought, you come back to the mantra. You come back to your peaceful place, and you let that go. And once you let that go, that stress disappears. And then you start thinking your mantra, subtly bring the mantra into your consciousness, and then let it go. And then another thought will come in. And here, all of the diagrams over on the right are these awareness of all these thoughts. Thoughts are our friends. And I have like, okay, a heartbreak. All of a sudden, a heartbreak comes into your consciousness, and you're like, oh, God, what happened? Or something's happened with a friend, or something like that will come into your consciousness. And you could go for 5 minutes on that thought, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm meditating. I need to let go of that thought. Again, that thought was your friend. You brought that into your consciousness. You let it go. That's the outward stroke. You let that go. That unstresses that thought. So each time you have a thought, and then you consciously realize that you're having that thought, and you don't try to hold on to your thoughts. It's okay. Just like you are aware of it, you let the thought go, you bring back your mantra, and then you go deeper into your self. And then at some point, you're going to realize that you have no thoughts and you have no mantra. And that is the place that you want to be in meditation. It's a very simple, innocent, natural place to be. And you just keep going there. And that repetition of that allows you to unstress and release all of these negative, destructive thoughts that you have, or concerns, or what am I going to have for dinner? I have to do this before I go to do this. All of those thoughts are natural thoughts. The more you meditate, and this is a 20-minute meditation practice that you do in the morning. I like to do it really early. I like to do it as the sun is rising. It's like amazing to be up that early, because then you have all kinds of time and energy. I usually go to bed at 10:30. I get 7 full hours of sleep, so I'm very well rested. And I get started in the day, and then I can do all of these things, get the dishwasher unpacked. I do, figure out the notes for the day, figure out what my Zoom calendar is going to be, and go out into the garden, figure out what I have to do in the garden for that day, any other errands that I need to make, stuff like that. I get that done before the day even starts. So it really allows you the opportunity, and you have energy. I mean, the thing about meditation is it gives you a huge amount of energy, and that energy will allow you to make better decisions. It'll allow you to have this chemistry, this bliss chemistry that doesn't happen it doesn't happen naturally. It may happen if you have a glass of wine or a puff of whatever, you'll have this kind of immediate kind of sense of that kind of blissful feeling or relaxation. But meditation can bring you that without any of those other chemicals. That's what's so amazing about bliss chemistry is, drinking and smoking and all of those things are chemicals that you're ingesting. What bliss chemistry is, it's coming from the inside and it's creating the same chemistry reaction in your brain, but without all of the other things that you're putting in your body, really. So that's kind of, I'm going to open this up for questions. If anybody has any questions, please kind of type them in and I can answer questions about this. This is kind of a very, very quick, but it's a deep dive. What I'm sharing with you today is a major course study that I experienced when I was in India, and I actually had been meditating for 3 or 4 years, and I didn't quite understand the inward and outward stroke, and that's why I did the drawing, and it became such an important drawing for me that I wanted to share with you guys. So, does anybody have any questions about what I'm trying to share with you today?
I have a question, Suzanne. What's the little animal down there in the middle of the tic-tac-toe diagram?
It's a sad story, and I'm not going to tell you this story, but I had a little rabbit named Thumper as a little girl, and my brother and I had Thumper, and as kids are, we would take Thumper out of his cage, and Thumper would go poop all over the house, and my parents got so tired of us taking Thumper out of the house that my dad, put an ad in the newspaper without telling us and gave Thumper away. And we found out who he gave Thumper away to, and he gave Thumper away to some really not nice guys in the neighborhood. And so my dad had to go get him back. Let's just say, and then we gave him to the local zoo, but in the petting zoo, so people could come and pet Thumper. But it was not a good scene when my dad went and he realized what the kids were doing with their tantalizing Thumper. Yeah. Like, such a sad thing. I was like, okay. So those are thoughts that hadn't popped up until you really go. And one of the interesting things about meditation and how you release stress and you unstress is that I didn't even realize that I was holding that stress in my body. I hadn't thought about that since then, really. Yeah. And I was in the middle of, 4 months of meditation, and this thought popped up in my head, and I'm like, whoa, that has been held inside me for so long. And that's the beauty of meditation, that you unstress at a molecular level, because that little Thumper molecule was inside my body since I was 10 years old, and I hadn't even thought about it. So that's what's fascinating, that thoughts are your friends, and thoughts are released then through meditation, the meditation practice. I'm glad you asked that, Dave, because I forgot that simple point, but that is the huge aspect of meditation, is that the unstressing, once you unstress that stress doesn't come back, as long as you keep meditating, and a lot of people have a really hard time with the afternoon meditation. And just try, intention is over half of it. So you got it, it's, and if you unstress in the morning, you're unstressing and unpacking things that may have happened during the night in terms of dreams. Dreams are a form of stress and unstressing. And so you will unstress. I did over, 760 hours of meditation while I was away. And so we really unleash, you unload all of this stress that's in you. But I can tell when I miss an afternoon, and I've missed some afternoons here since I've been back, that you start, the daily aspect of stress starts packing up in you. And so that afternoon stress allows you to release everything that's happened during the day too. So that's kind of the importance of the twice a day. And there's tons of studies. I can share all these studies if anybody's interested in how this works scientifically in your body. So
Yeah, makes sense though.
yeah, it's
Suzanne,
good.
there's a number of questions that have come in. We might not have time to answer them all, so I will share them with you.
We'll answer
But we
them next time in July. I think our next talk is the
okay.
third Tuesday at 11. Okay, go ahead.
We'll try to answer as many as we can. The first one, when did you start meditation?
I started 3.5. I started February of 17. Yeah, February of 2017.
And how do you choose a mantra? Do you use a different one each day, multiple, or focus on the same one for a while?
So the mantra is given to you, and it's based on your life cycle and your body type, and wherever you are, I can connect you with an initiator. You need to be initiated into this. It's a 4-day course that you take, which allows you to practice for like a half hour well, you do your 20-minute practice with your teacher, your initiator. I'm happy to be your initiator. I can come to you. I'm going to be going to San Francisco to work with an architectural firm and meet with them. And so you need an initiator in Vedic meditation, and then your initiator will be with you for life. So you will constantly ask questions. But meditation, the thing is like, the mantra is given to you by your initiator, and it's like a shoe size. It's like there's like, you're a size whatever. I'm a size 6, 5.5 or 6. And so that mantra starts fitting to you, and it's it's this sound. So there's a number of different mantras that exist that would be given to you based on your life cycle.
Is Vedic meditation related to Kundalini Yoga?
No, Kundalini Yoga is really based on the energy that goes throughout your spine, and it's a totally different aspect. It's a different approach to meditation. It's a much more active approach. It's a very different thing.
In terms of letting go of thoughts and achieving a blissful feeling, I feel I can get something similar from exercise. Is that similar to what you're describing?
Yeah, exercise is great, and that chemistry that is that comes out when you exercise is a similar kind of bliss chemistry, but exercise does not unstress you. It does not have the ability for you to go deep into yourself. It's that's a very outward thing that you're doing. It does not unstress you at a molecular level. I have a whole, a lot of athletes have been trained under Tom Knowles, who was the Maharishi that I practice under. And, this particular cyclist was a real real skeptic, and didn't think that meditation was going to help him, that he thought he was in the best shape, and that he understood this chemistry, and that he gets every time he rides, and all of this stuff. And Tom was like, all right, you don't have to do it. It's like, I'm not trying to convince you. And he ended up coming in, and your reaction time becomes much quicker. His scores like started skyrocketing, and what stress does to you is so impairs every aspect of you, that it's really, really helpful for an athlete or somebody that does a lot of exercise too. I mean, the ability to do both of those things is like the best, actually, to do exercise and do meditation.
What's your view on mantra versus no mantra during meditation, and how does using a mantra help?
So the mantra is there. It's a vibrational tool to allow you to go deeper into yourself. What you're trying to do is get to that place and that bottom line there of being. And the mantra helps that. It's a mind vehicle. It is there to guide you. You don't try to control the mantra. You don't try to change the rhythm of the mantra. You don't try to pair the mantra with breathing. It's just there to bring you into yourself. And some of the time I'll do my meditation, I'll sit down and I will totally even forget the mantra. And then I'm like, oh my God, I think I just did that whole meditation without even thinking the mantra. The intention of the meditation, the practice of doing it, and then bringing that mantra into your mind is there to help guide you down deeply. If you don't have a mantra, then your mind has no vehicle. It just is going to continue to churn thoughts. And again, like what I said is, you could do visualization or those kinds of concentration meditations, but those are all effort. Those all force you to have effort. This is an effortless practice, which then allows you to really, reach deep down inside of yourself.
Okay. This is more of a request to please share the studies. They would love to learn more.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And the last question for this session, is Bliss Chemistry a Vedic term?
No. It's a thing. It's a real thing. I'll share that as well with you guys. No, it's a real thing. Bliss is there. Bliss is there. Who talked about bliss? Was that Eckhart Tolle, or who was the original bliss person? Joseph Campbell, maybe? Yeah. Follow your bliss, I think, is it's a real thing. And so the chemistry of bliss is really and I can share those studies with you. Maybe that's part of that we'll unpack in July when we have that discussion. But if you guys are interested, you can always reach out and email me or text me or instant message me or whatever, and I can connect with you guys, you all, or get in touch with your rep and they can connect me. And like really, really happy to share this with everybody. It's such an amazing tool to have in your little creative outlet. So, all right, I think we had a 11:30 stop. So thank you all for joining. And again, our next talk is, I had a note on it and I don't know what I did with my note, but it's July. What's the third July?
July
Tuesday
21st.
in July.
Yeah.
What is
What was that, Daniela?
Sorry, July the 21st.
Okay, at 11. Yeah.
Cool.
So excited to share. Excited that I have an opportunity to share this stuff with you guys. Have a great day.
Thank you for
Thanks,
sharing,
Suzanne.
Suzanne. All right, everyone. Thank you all.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.